Welcome to another edition of the Dental Today podcast. Thank you for stopping by. This is brought to you by Lab Media TV. My name is Hezekiah Morales, and here we go. Remember to follow us on social media at Lab Media TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Dental Today podcast. We are privileged to be here in Chicago, LabDay 2020. It's very cold outside,
it is.
But the warmth of the industry definitely keeps us going in here. And we're with Mr. Danny Vezmar, who is the marketing director at Dentsply Sirona for the laboratory side of the business. Danny, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having
fun.
us. And my first contact with you was turning around and hearing Mike Smith saying, well, Tom Hanks decided to join us.
Yeah, I get that every once in a while. Yeah, actually, it's been a lot more frequently lately. I don't know what it is. Maybe as I'm aging, I'm starting to look more like him. I don't know.
Or maybe because of the old movie that just people have him on their mind.
On their mind, yeah.
Oh, man, that's exciting to have you here with us, Danny. Thank you so much for taking the time and being generous with your time. I know you have a couple meetings coming up in the next couple minutes. This show has been huge, very busy for Dentsply.
Yeah. A
lot of work. And that leads me into to begin here. When did you get started in dental in general?
So, if you want to go way back, my first dental experience was my dad started working for the LD Caulk Company, which was a division of Dentsply International at the time in 1978. So my dad started there as a facilities guy, heating and air conditioning, and I remember he used to walk down to the end of the street. The company owned a bus, an old school bus. He would walk down to the end of the street and get on the bus and ride the bus into the plant. And there was times, maybe if there was a snowstorm, we'd get recruited to go help him shovel snow. So I've been around the industry side of it since I was a kid, because my dad worked for the company. My grandmother also worked for the company. So it's been, that kind of I'd say that this company has been feeding me and my family for over 40 years. It's been an incredible journey. So when I graduated from college, I came back home to Milford, Delaware. That's the little town where the LD Caulk Company has been for over 100 years, part of the Dentsply family. And I was doing electrical work with a buddy of mine. I was happy, and my dad, I got the "what are you doing with the rest of your life" story from my dad. So he's come apply for this job at Caulk. You never know what'll happen. So I went and applied for a job at the Caulk Company, a division of Dentsply, and I started as a chemical compounder. So some of our legacy brands, IRM and Dycal and Nupro and some of those things, I started as a chemical compounder making stuff in the plant. And then, a lot of different things over the years. That was 1995. And then I moved into customer service, and then moved from customer service into field sales. I was a field sales rep in Connecticut and Maryland, then back into Delaware in the office for marketing roles. And then after the Dentsply and Sirona came together, I got a call and asked if I would be interested in moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. So I moved to Charlotte. I was the marketing director for Restoratives. And then over the last few months, we've had some kind of organizational shifts, and I've taken on the preventive and the lab business as well. So I'm learning the lab biz. Restorative is kind of where I grew up in the organization. Preventive's also been part of my responsibilities on and off over the years, and then I'm last 4 or 5 months now really digging into the lab business.
So it's been a lot of learning in the last
A lot of
months.
learning, yes, a lot of. I'll tell you, the one thing that I learned really quickly is that the community of the lab business appeals to me because of my family history with the company. So my dad, my grandmother, my uncle, 2 cousins, my sister, my sister-in-law, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law all worked for this company. My brother still does. My brother's on the supply chain side for the organization in Delaware. So when I started really meeting a lot of the lab community, it's very collaborative, very family, a lot of multi-generational people in this business, and that's what really has appealed to me. Like the group has embraced me so quickly. It's been really incredible, meeting tons of awesome people. It's been a lot of fun.
And right now, to date, you're at 24 and a half years.
Yes, yeah. So June is 25 years for me, with the company. Yeah, it's
what a ride.
Been an incredible journey. I'm so blessed. The opportunities that I've had, the people that I've gotten to meet over that time, has just been amazing. It's just an incredible organization. I'm emotionally connected to what we do at Dentsply Sirona. I really enjoy what we do and how we are focused on, we want practices to be healthy, we want smiles to be healthy, and we do that in partnership with dental labs, in partnership with dental offices, because we feel like we can help dentists and labs accomplish that mission of having a healthy practice and a healthy smile.
Wow, so you're all in.
I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in.
All in.
I'm all in, man. Let me tell you, I am all in.
And it's so amazing that you mentioned that the community is such a special community, because that's what I've been able to experience in this industry as well, and that's what it has inspired me to begin this journey with this podcast and these videos, because the people in this industry are just so open and so willing to connect. And not only that, but specifically, Dentsply Sirona has great people.
Oh, incredible people. And amazing. Some of my best friends are people that I've met as being part of this organization for so long.
Who's been responsible for let's call it talent scouting for people like Bill Atkins and Jay Black and Bart Cothran and Jill Swafford and Kevin Regg and so many, Frankie, so many others. Who's been responsible? What team?
I think it's a combination, honestly. We have a really great product development group that's kind of working on all of what the future projects and future products and solutions look like for us. We have phenomenal marketing people in the United States, the sales team. There's a lot of people involved in reaching out and building relationships with people. And that's one thing that I learned really quickly as I moved into the lab business, that the relationships are so intertwined. We've got awesome field sales consultants and management team on the sales side that is in labs day in and day out, helping provide solutions and workflow efficiencies. We've got phenomenal marketing team that's on our team in Charlotte that's making sure people have what they need, and our product group reaches out for getting beta testing done. So there's really so many people involved helping drive those relationships.
Wow, that's so amazing. I keep on hearing that word, and I think we're going to have to get into this with everybody we speak with, because communication and relationship seems to be at the forefront of almost every communication we have.
Yeah, I agree.
Every time we sit down with a professional, whatever side they're on, it seems to be communication and relationships. Yeah,
and just transparency and openness and clarity. Here's what we're trying to accomplish. There's so much opportunity and / change going on right now in all sides of this industry. How do we help each other navigate through that? That's really important for us.
And you touched on something that is definitely the conversation as well. So much change and we're talking about exponential change.
Yes.
We were speaking with Mr. Atkins, and he mentioned that 20 years ago, when one would go to a show, one would ask, what color wax do you have this year?
Yeah.
Right now, it's, if you miss one show, you missed a lot.
Yeah, the technology is just dynamically changing so quickly. 3D printing is all the rage now. We have this awesome partnership with Carbon, with the Lucidone digital print. Digital impressioning is just skyrocketing. There's so much technology. And 20 years ago, even in my restoratives world, you were talking about consumable materials, formulated things, goop and goo, as I would say. But fast forward, and now it's all about software and equipment and technology. Of course, equipment's been around a long time, but the technology is just changing so rapidly. What we are capable of doing and helping people create is changing dramatically.
And so, a professional in your position, in what you do, how do you manage to continue to keep your, let's call it the progression of your work, the accomplishment of the vision that you have for your department, when there are so many variables with technology, with so many changes going on around you? How are you able to manage this in a management position?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Some days I feel like I'm not doing very well because it's just overwhelming. There's a lot going on with our organization, but really what we try and do is focus on what our key priorities are. As Dentsply Sirona, we are committed to healthy practices and healthy smiles. Healthy practices means dental labs, it means dental offices. We are committed to that. And how do we do that? We focus on procedure expansion, we focus on workflow efficiencies, and we focus on experience. So there are very particular ways that we can help a practice owner, whether it be a lab or a dental office, grow grow their practice? Are you doing things in a lab today that we can help with a more efficient workflow? Or are you not doing things today that we can help you bring in to increase your revenue, get other revenue streams? So that's where, we try and stay focused on what are those things that we're truly trying to help our customers accomplish. And then we focus on, okay, what are the things that the customers are telling us that they need to help accomplish that? Is it, I need a better consumable solution for, bonding teeth? Is it, I need a better solution for milling denture? Whatever that solution is, we're focused on what is the customer telling us that they need. And then we go back and say, okay, customer, it's all around the customer insight. What does the customer need? Do we have the capabilities to provide a solution to satisfy that need? And that's where, so that's really what it boils down to is people. I mean, we've got great people on our team, making sure that they have clear pathway to head down the right path to provide that customer solution. And that's really what we're focused on. Like lab specifically, we know that lab revenue has been fairly flat over the last few years. We know that there's difficulty to find skilled technicians in some cases. So how do we bring products and technology solutions to the lab customer that says, we understand all of those frustrations that you may have, we understand what's happening to your business, let's introduce you to some workflows that can help make you more efficient, more increased efficiency, better revenue. Of course, always with an eye towards what's the right outcome for the customer, whether that be the dentist that's delivering it to the patient and ultimately the patient that's walking out of the door with a brand new device of some sort, whether it be a crown, a bridge, a denture, really focused on that end result.
Wow, so we're talking about particular key points that make up the culture of Dentsply Sirona, and that's what you allow to steer the ship.
Absolutely, that's what we just had our national sales meeting a couple of weeks ago in Orlando, Florida, and we had 900 field sales consultants from all different parts of our business: implants, lab, ortho, endo, all different parts of our business together. And as a team, we are delivering the message that Dentsply Sirona is focused on healthy practices and healthy smiles, and we want to help our customers achieve that goal.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting how you mentioned the structure, because sometimes I believe in certain, and you just mentioned the income or the revenue stream for labs has been pretty flat.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's been decreasing in certain sectors.
Right. Yeah.
Yet, I find with what you're saying that can be applied to laboratories is not so much worrying about the variables, the things that are changing around, keeping those key points, which would be to maintain our education, our relationship to our community,
100%.
so that everything we can continue to move forward. That's really powerful.
I had a great conversation a couple of weeks ago with a lab that is primarily focused on fixed. They're not doing any removable, but they're seeing developments on the 3D print side, like our relationship with Carbon, with the Lucitone digital print. They're starting to see that, okay, there may be an opportunity for us to bring some additional things into our lab that we weren't doing before, brand new revenue streams. So, those kinds of things, as our portfolio changes and evolves, there's areas where we can help labs identify things that they may be able to start doing today that they weren't doing a year ago, 2 years ago, just bringing in additional revenue streams.
Now, obviously, all these tools that we are discussing here, or you're discussing here, come with a cost, a price tag. And so there are certain labs that are maybe afraid of going into the Dentsply Sirona room when they come to LabDay, because they are probably a one-man or two-man lab, and to them it's possibly unattainable. What would you say to them?
There's always has to be an economic evaluation to understand should you adopt certain workflows or technologies or equipment. What I would say to them is really, where it makes sense is work with your local expert. Talk to other lab owners that have adopted these things. We have tons of resources in our advocate community that can show you the benefits that their lab have experienced over time by bringing some of these technologies into the lab. And then our local field sales team is there to help you understand what the the return on investment is for making these types of investments. 'Cause it is, in some cases, it's a big investment to bring in a complete solution, mills and scanners and curing units and ovens. It's a big investment, but we have a team that can show you what the economics look like for the lab owner. And they can say, bring these things in, here's where you're going to increase efficiency, here's where you're going to save money and time, and then you can make a better informed decision. It's like, even in our personal lives, we do these kinds of things. If you're going to be investing in a big purchase, you're trying to figure out, is this something that I want? Or is this something that I need to make my life, my future, whatever, better? And we have a great team of people that can help. Not just Dentsply Sirona people, but we have our advocate team, and we've got such good supporters in the community that can help someone understand what does that payback look like. If I do this, what's the next 5 years look like for me?
Yeah, projection. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And where can these people that are possibly looking to get into something digital, possibly would like to sit with an advisor, someone who has experience and not going to be a salesy person, but going to be able to share more from a consultative point of view, where can they find your teammates?
Where I would start, honestly, to get kind of the unbiased view. I'm going to say unbiased, but there's a DS Lab Study Club group on Facebook, and that group is administered by lab owners. Some like Jay Black and Frankie Acosta, and these guys are completely plugged into that group, and they help provide direction to people that have questions. They're constantly solving problems for each other. Somebody will post on that Facebook group, hey, I've got software in Lab 19 and I'm having trouble getting this to work this way, and the community just jumps in and helps people solve those problems. So that's a great place to start. Always could reach out to your local field sales consultant. Via our website. You can always go on our website to figure out what all the right contact numbers, because depending on your geography, obviously you're going to have a different person to reach out to. But there's lots of different ways to get in touch with us, and then for us to help you get in touch with other people that could help you make the decision.
That's fantastic. It sounds like there are a lot of resources available.
And education and community is very important. So if you do invest in our technology or our equipment, there's lots of training opportunities that happen after the installation or after the purchase. So we can have someone come to your lab and help you onboard a new technology or a new workflow. There's lots of online education opportunities. So there's lots of. We're not a company that's going to convince you that you need to buy a milling machine and then leave you to figure it out on your own. There's a lot of opportunity for us to help teach you how to use and implement these things.
That's amazing. So not only do you have the technology, but also the support structure.
100%. That's incredibly like our tagline here is we lab together. We are in it together with the lab owner to make sure we're providing the right tools and resources to help them have an incredible experience.
That's fantastic. Well, Danny, it's been a pleasure having you
great.
on.
Yeah,
I know you have to run. I really appreciate your
thank you for having me.
Being so generous with your time.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate you sharing everything that you have with all our listeners here at the Dental Today podcast, and we look forward to possibly having you soon.
I'd love it. Thank you, Hezekiah. I
Danny,
appreciate it.
thank you so much.
Thank you very
I hope
much.
you enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Ladies and
You
gentlemen,
too.
thank you for sharing with us today at the Dental Today podcast.